Good afternoon. Let's look at factoring trinomials. Now I want you to look at this trinomial. We have three different terms. What we want to do is think about what multiplies together to give us 20, but adds together to give us a negative 9. So I'm going to put two sets of parentheses. I know I have to also think about what multiplies to give us x squared. So I'm going to put that in the front, x and x. Now, what numbers multiply together to give us 20, but add together to give us a negative 9? So what I'm going to do is think about the different pairs of 20 that I could have. Well, I could have 20 and 1. I could have 2 and 10. I could have 4 and 5. I could have 5 and 4. I could have 10 and 2. Or I could have 1 and 20. And this will be more important when you think about the pairs later on. But for right now, we're just going to look at the different ways we could go about it. Now, if I look at 20 and 1, I'd get 21. Well, that's not the number I want in the middle. That doesn't work. If I have 2 and 10, well, that would give me 12. I'm looking for a negative 9. That doesn't work. 4 plus 5, well, that gives me 9, but I want a negative 9. If I change both of these to be negative, negative 4 times a negative 5 gives me a positive 20. So I've actually found the pairs that I want. Negative 4 and minus 5. Now, you might wonder, does it matter whether I put the negative 5 in the first spot or in the second spot? It doesn't really matter in this case, as long as when you FOIL it, you check it, you could go back and get the number that is here. But a negative 4 times a negative 5 gives you 20. And if I look at my inside terms, I get a negative 4x. My outside terms give me a negative 5x. And this is just me checking to make sure it actually works out. That gives me a negative 9x, which is what I want here. If I look at my last terms, that gives me a positive 20, which is what I have there. So my answer is this part here. Let's look at another example. Here I need to think about what multiplies together to give me a negative 12. Well, since it's negative, I need to think about positive and negative things. So if I have a negative 2 and 6, that would work. 2 and a negative 6 would work. I did, let's see, a negative 3 and positive 4. That would multiply to give me a negative 12. If I had a positive 3 and a negative 4, I think that those are all of the options that we have. Oh, we can do 1 and negative 12, or negative 1 and positive 12. Now, if you look at this, that's going to give me a positive 4. This would give me a negative 4. That would give me a positive 1. This would give me a negative 1. This would give me a negative 11. That would give me a positive 11. There's actually no option that actually adds up to give me 3. So this cannot be factored. And sometimes you work out that you cannot factor the question that's there. Let's look at another example. Here I have a negative 18. Let's think about what multiplies together to give a negative 18. If I did 3 and a negative 6, negative 3 and a positive 6, 2 and a negative 9, negative 2, positive 9, 1 and a negative 18, negative 1 and a positive 18. Well, if I take 3 plus a negative 6, that gives me a negative 3, which is what I'm looking for in the middle. So this one can be factored. Remember, we have to multiply the parts in front to get x squared. So that goes there. And then I put a positive 3 and a negative 6. So if I look at my inside terms, I'm going to get 3x. If I look at my outside terms, I get a negative 6x. And that adds up to a negative 3x, which is what I wanted. And if I look at my outside terms, I'm getting negative 18, which is what I wanted, so I know I did it correctly. And that is my answer. Let's look at another example. Here we need to think about what multiplies together to give us 9, but adds together to give us a negative 3. So if I think about 9, I could do 3 and 3. I could do 1 and 9. I could do 9 and 1. If I look at any of these options, 3 plus 3 would give me 6. Well, that's not 6, so that doesn't work. 1 plus 9 gives me 10, and 9 plus 1 gives me 10. This is another one that cannot be factored. Let's look at another example. Here, what multiplies together to give us a negative 63? I could do 7 and negative 9. I can do a negative 7 and a positive 9. I could do 1 and a negative 63. I could do a negative 1 and a positive 63. If I look at this, 7 plus a negative 9 would give me a negative 2. So I want a positive 2, so that doesn't quite work. A negative 7 plus 9 gives me a positive 2. So I found the pair that I want to use. Put the R in the front. Put a negative 7 here, and a positive 9 here. And just to check, I get a negative 7R. Look at my outside, I get 9R. And when I put those together, I get a positive 2R, which is what I wanted. If I look at my outside terms, I get a negative 63, which is what I wanted. So I know I factored it correctly. Let's look at another example. If I had x squared plus 5x plus 6. Let's think about the factors of 6. I could have 2 and 3. I could have 3 and 2. I could have 1 and 6. I could have 6 and 1. If I look at 2 and 3, if I add those together, that'll give me 5x. So I found the pair that I can use. So I have x plus 2, x plus 3. If I look at my inside terms, I get 2x. If I look at my outside terms, I get 3x. When I add those together, I get 5x. And that's what I was looking for. And if I look at my outside terms, I get a positive 6, which is what I was looking for. So now I've factored those correctly. So we've looked at factoring a trinomial and the ways to go about thinking about your factors so that you can find a pair of factors that adds up to the number that is in the center of your trinomial. Have a great day. Bye-bye.